Hey everyone, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa, and I'm here with this week's What I Sold on Etsy video. And the good news is I met my sales goal this week. I sold 15 items this week for a total of $249. And I will, in just a bit, show you each of the items that sold and how much they sold for. Keep in mind the prices that you see are just the selling price and don't include any shipping fees that were paid by the buyers and any fees that I paid to Etsy or fees I paid to purchase the item. And I'll also go ahead and show you my shop stats too. I do have an exciting announcement, but I can't announce it yet, so look for that probably early next week, and I'll make a video about that too. But in the meantime, here's what I sold this week. Okay, this is the shop stats for the week. I had 2,480 views this week, 1,400 or so were listing views, about 1,000 were shop views, and then there were 169 favorites. Most of those were listing favorites, and 14 orders, 15 items because the one buyer bought 2 items, for a total of $249. And then below that we can see when sales came in pretty steady over the week. A little bit of an uptick, I guess, yesterday, but pretty steady overall, I would say, for sales this week. And now let's take a look at the different items that sold. First item that sold this week was this vintage embroidered patch. It says the cat was here. Has a little purple paw print on it. I don't know even what it's supposed to mean. It sold for $5. It's something I picked up in a lot from an auction, and I think I had 2 of these, so there's like another one still available. I just listed them as, you know, they're exactly identical, so I just listed it as quantity 2 when I listed it. I sold this. This is a keychain, but it's also a music box. You know, it has a little knob on it there. You wind it up and it plays a little song. Really cool. All made of metal, different metals there. Sold for $35. I picked this up at a thrift store not too long ago. This is a vintage figurine. I sold this for $20. This is a kitty cucumber figurine. I'd never heard of this before, but picked it up at a rummage sale, decided to take a chance on it. Didn't know if it had enough value or not, but it did sell. This was one of 2 international orders this week. And this is a vintage thimble rack, thimble shelf. I sold this for $20. Hard to tell in this picture, but each of those shelves has little round depressions in it, little circles where you can actually, you know, put your thimble, if you have like a thimble collection, and display it. And I picked this up at a thrift store. This was 4 wooden tray puzzles. They were all made by Judy Instructo. Not too old, I think 1980s on these. So I sold the lot of 4 of them for $30. I picked them up at a thrift store. They were actually, I think, sold individually at the thrift store, and I got a couple other puzzles as well that I put in a different lot. And this is my second international order of the week. This is a stamped scarf for embroidery. It sold for $12. Now this is not like the whole kit. It's just the scarf with the printing on it, and then you have to supply, you know, your own embroidery thread and you know, make your own embroidery pattern out of it. I mean, it's already stamped with the design, so you just have to embroider it yourself. And where did I pick this up? I don't remember. And this is a vintage ceramic bank in the shape of an adorable chipmunk. It sold for $15. And here's another item I don't remember where I got. I'm thinking this might have been from a thrift store, but it could have been a rummage sale. I got this vintage flower fairy stationery. I call it a flower fairy. She's actually got butterflies, not so much flowers. Sold for $8. I picked this up at a thrift store. It's just the paper only. It didn't have envelopes with it. I think it was like 26 sheets of paper. This is a collection of shell collector coins from the 1980s, 1990s, sold for $15. They're all like presidential coins, and they're on like this collector card. I actually had a set of these when I was younger. Like my grandparents got them for my sister and I. You know, I guess they bought their gas and shell, and I guess you got a coin each time you filled up or something like that. What was I going to say? Oh, I had 2 of these too, just like that patch. So, you know, I listed them again, quantity of 2. And these I actually picked up at a thrift store. Here's the order that had two items going to the same buyer. They're actually very similar items. They're both sets of postcards. I think they were made by Current, for writing notes, like note postcards. So this is like the front of the card with the little illustration on it, and the back is blank. So these were two sets, about 40 cards, I think, in each set, and so they sold for $10. Really adorable designs, I have to say. And this is a vintage toy iron. It's sold for $14. It's all metal, painted red, and honestly, I don't remember where I picked this one up. And then I sold this vintage wooden letter opener for $20. It has a carved design on it of like a lady's head, like a figural thing with like some flowers, and then the artist's name is also carved into it. And as you can see, it's not in perfect condition, but it was pretty cool. And I think it was hand carved from what I could tell. What's interesting is I've had this a while. I don't even remember where I got it, but this week I did happen to list another letter opener that I just picked up, and so I always feel like that kind of helps people find, other similar items in your shop. So that's why it's, even when you're listing things, you might not sell those things, but you might sell other things. I don't know, just a theory I have. And here's another puzzle that I sold. This sold for $20. This is unusual. I've never seen something like this before. It's wood, and it's just these long pieces of wood, and each side, each face has a different image on it, so it makes different pieces of fruit. They're all single color. There's the grapes, there I think were bananas, oranges, something like that. Now, if you can tell in this picture, it's not quite complete. It is actually missing a piece at the end. So I did list it with that noted, and sold it for $20. Probably could have gone for a little more if it was actually complete. And I picked this up at a thrift store. And finally this week I sold another craft kit. This was an embroidery kit to make a bell pull, like a decorative bell pull. Sold for $15. Honestly, I don't remember where I picked this one up. This one might have came from a thrift store. So that's everything that I sold this week. It has been a good week. I have been getting more stuff listed this week, so that probably helps sales. And, I was complaining not too long ago about running out of stuff to list. Well, I'm not complaining anymore. I got more than enough stuff to keep me busy for a while. And I probably will have some more adding to that soon because I got some sales coming up. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you maybe find some treasures out there and sell some treasures too. And I'll see you all again soon. Happy selling, everyone.